Hello my amazing people. Welcome back to Gist and Smile TV, your number one home for gist with class, spice, and plenty of emotion. You already know how we do it here. We don't just tell stories, we unwrap them layer by layer until the truth begins to whisper its own confession. So sit tight, grab your popcorn, and let's dive straight into today's gist because this one shook the entire Nollywood internet to its core. After weeks of silence, after endless dragging from fans who called him a manipulator, a user, and a man who built his name on another person's shoulders, Maurice Sam has finally spoken. Yes, my people, he broke the silence, but instead of clearing the air, it looks like he stirred up even more dust. Maurice came out in an emotional video that immediately went viral. His face was serious, his tone soft, and his eyes glassy as he said, "I didn't play Sonia. I never used her. Meeting Sonia was a blessing." Those few words sent social media into chaos. Because for many fans, that statement wasn't closure, it was confusion. Some people said, "Oh, he's finally speaking his truth." Others said, "I beg, this is another well-directed scene." Because the emotions looked too controlled, too rehearsed, almost like a man acting his apology rather than feeling it. But before we judge, let's rewind a little. The bond between Maurice Sam and Sonia didn't start with gossip. It started with chemistry, real, screen-melting chemistry that fans couldn't ignore. Every scene they acted together glowed with that unspoken spark. Viewers crowned them the perfect Mollywood pair, and soon enough, they became the couple that should have been. Fans created edits, opened fan pages, and filled comment sections with hearts and ship names. But then, fame entered the chat. You know how fame works, sweet but tricky. One minute it's love and light, the next minute it's pride and distance. Maurice started changing. His captions grew colder, his responses shorter, his body language quieter. Sonia was still posting, still showing love, still cheering him on publicly, but the man she was clapping for had stopped clapping back. And when the whispers started, the blog saying Sonia was too invested, the trolls calling her desperate, Maurice kept silent. That silence became louder than any denial. It was a silence that spoke of pride, of calculation, or maybe of guilt. Fans expected him to stand up for the woman who had stood by him, but he didn't. Instead, he disappeared behind work and camera lights while Sonia faced the noise alone. Now fast forward to today. When the whole dragging has started burning his own image, suddenly he returns, eyes moist, voice trembling, ready to explain. My people, tell me, why now? Why speak only when the heat touches your own name? Because true love doesn't wait for public sympathy to speak. True loyalty defends even in private silence. And when he said, "I keep dancing with women in the industry because they're my colleagues," the internet exploded again. Some fans defended him, saying he's simply a professional actor, and working closely with female colleagues is part of the job. But others said that line sounded like an excuse, a way to hide emotional closeness under the word colleague. Because let's be honest, when the same chemistry that lights up the screen starts spilling into real life, you can't always separate acting from attraction. So now fans are asking the big question, did Maurice truly love Sonia, or did he love the attention that came with her? Because every time Sonia trends, Maurice's name rises right beside hers. Every heartbreak quote, every crying emoji, every emotional video keeps both of them relevant, but somehow, Maurice benefits more. And that's where people start calling him strategic. Because in this Nollywood world, timing is everything. Some fans believe the whole "I didn't play her" speech was not a confession, it was public relations. A carefully planned move to polish his image, soften public anger, and shift the narrative. After all, a few tears, a humble tone, and a sentence like "if she was a blessing" can melt even the toughest critic. But let's not act like Sonia's pain isn't real. Because if you've been following this saga, you know she gave her all, her loyalty, her energy, her support, even her audience. She didn't just stand beside Maurice, she helped lift him. Her platform boosted his visibility, her presence added warmth to his brand, and the fans noticed. That's why so many keep saying, Sonia made Maurice. And here's the twist, Maurice didn't deny it. He admitted Sonia's presence was a blessing and that she helped him grow. But the question is, what do those words really mean? When a man says, "You made me," is he showing gratitude or confessing guilt? Because you can thank someone without ever truly valuing them. You can praise someone for their help while quietly distancing yourself from them. And that's what cuts deep. Because Sonia didn't ask for public gratitude, she just wanted respect. She wanted acknowledgement when things got rough. She wanted the same energy she gave. But she didn't get it. This gist has now gone beyond just two people. It's touching hearts across social media because many women see themselves in Sonia. They've been the builders, the encouragers, the vision sharers. They've helped men dream bigger, only to be left behind when the dream finally comes true. And that's why people are emotional. Because this gist is not just Nollywood, it's real life playing out on camera. It's about women confusing support for sacrifice. It's about learning that you can stand beside a man without standing beneath him. Now, some people say maybe Maurice really meant what he said. Maybe he's not acting. Maybe he's genuinely broken and trying to heal his reputation and his heart at the same time. But the truth still stands. If you could boldly call her a blessing, why couldn't you boldly call her my woman when the world was tearing her apart? Why wait for peace to speak, when your silence already caused pain? Because real love is loud when it matters. Let's not forget, when Sonia called him my king, she didn't hide. She was open, proud, fearless. But when it came time for him to call her my queen, suddenly there was no caption, no post, no public defense. That's what fans can't forgive, not that the love ended, but that he made it look like it never existed. And you know what? The internet never forgets. That's why this gist keeps trending. Right now, the world is divided into two strong teams. Team Sonia believes Maurice used her as a ladder to climb the fame mountain and left her once he got to the top. To them, his tears are just the latest scene in a movie he's directing himself. But Team Maurice believes he's being judged unfairly, that he never promised anything beyond friendship, and that fans should stop mixing fiction with real life. But in the middle of both teams lies the truth, that unspoken zone of half love, half loyalty, where emotions are real but intentions are complicated. And maybe that's the real lesson of this gist. Love and fame rarely live peacefully in the same house. Someone always sacrifices more. And in this story, that someone seems to be Sonia. But my people, let's be honest, beyond the heartbreak and headlines, there's a bigger moral here. Love should never feel like labor. It shouldn't drain you. It shouldn't make you question your worth. If you're the only one clapping, maybe the performance is over. Because love is not a one-man show. It's supposed to be a duet, not a solo performance. And for every woman listening right now, please take this as a reminder. Don't lose yourself trying to prove your loyalty to someone who isn't sure about theirs. Support him, yes. Believe in him, yes. But don't shrink yourself in the process. Because when success finally comes, you should both rise, not just one person. As for Maurice, whether his emotions were genuine or strategic, only time will tell. But one thing is clear, his delay in speaking already wrote its own story. Because sometimes, saying nothing can be louder than any apology. So, did he clear the air? Maybe. But the dust he raised is still hanging, and in that dust lies questions that might never be fully answered. And that's how this chapter ends, at least for now. Because you and I know that in Nollywood, no story ever truly ends, it just pauses for the next episode. So my beautiful family, over to you. Do you believe Maurice truly loved Sonia? Or was she just a stepping stone in his rise to fame? Were those tears from the heart or straight from the script? Drop your thoughts in the comment section because this conversation is not over yet. And before we wrap up, if you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that red subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and stay locked because when the next part of this gist drops, Gist and Smile TV will be the first to serve it hot. Until then, my people, stay kind, stay wise, and remember, love is not a performance. If it starts to feel like one, don't just clap, walk off the stage. See you in the next gist, my amazing family. Keep smiling, keep shining, and keep gisting with Gist and Smile TV. Red Heart.